It's time for another episode of Hops and Hedges, where we talk about beer, landscaping, and everything in between. Season 1 is proudly sponsored by ext.tech, helping you grow and revolutionize your landscaping business. Now crack open a cold one, and let's dig in. There you go. We are recording. With me today is Lynzee Bewcyk, all the way out from Nelson, British Columbia. How are you, Lynzee?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
No problem. I am so excited to have you on the show. I've been following you for a while now on Instagram. I'm not even sure where I came across your account or when I first saw it, but you are foodscapegardens.ca. On Instagram, you're actually foodscape.gardens.bc.
Yep, to be precise.
To be precise, right? So we know exactly who you are and how to find you. For those who are maybe seeing you or hearing about you for the first time, can you give us a bit of a lowdown about what it is that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I do is I help people to cultivate resilience by learning how to grow their own food at home. So small scale gardens, not big, huge farms. I also help people that have just got a new house, or maybe they decided that they want to start gardening. So I provide consults, garden plans, garden designs.
Nice.
I just really want to help people not feel overwhelmed and help people to approach gardening in a way that is really fun and so that they can grow lots of healthy, nourishing food for themselves.
Oh, that is so awesome. And I love what you say about building resiliency through growing their own food. Because there's something I think underlying all gardens and people who garden is that it's never just about gardening, is it? You know,
No.
I often say that I'm a garden coach with a little bit of life coaching in there, you know? And so that's something that I really strongly can definitely get from your website and your Instagram posts. And I just think it's so cool what you're doing.
Thank you. I'm glad that you feel aligned with that.
Absolutely. And
That's
you only
really great.
started officially last year, right?
Yeah. Brand new.
Holy smoke. So brand new to that. I was
Yeah.
seeing on your website that kind of the idea or the light bulb went off, something about apple picking in Tasmania. Can you tell us about that? What?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Wow.
So I grew up in Barrie, Ontario.
Okay,
know
there you
that.
go. Not too far, yeah.
And I always knew I wanted to move to BC, and I made that happen. I went to school and whatnot. And then I just finished school and I was like, this doesn't feel right. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then so I became a snowboard bum, moved to Whistler, did that whole thing. And then I was like, I want to go to Australia. And then to get your second year visa in Australia, you have to do farm work. And this was an amazing thing for me. I didn't realize that I was going to love it so much. So where we ended up, we had a van, we were living in Australia. We ended up in Tasmania picking apples to get our second year. And I was just kind of like, oh, whatever, I want my second year. But as I'm doing it, I'm like, man, this is awesome. And really, the more you pick, the more money you make. So I was like, oh, money grows on trees was my mantra.
Yeah.
It's true. And then, that connection to the plants and to the orchard and being out there, I was like, I got to keep doing this. So I wasn't really sure how that looked. I just would pick up odd farming jobs and continue picking apples. And that's kind of where it all began.
Wow, that is so cool. I love that idea of money grows on trees.
That's what I realized. Hey, wait a second, money does grow on trees.
Yeah. Or I've heard the term garden math. I think that's from Nicole at Gardenary. She talks about garden math. Like if you buy one plant and you split it, you get two plants.
Totally.
Right? So you're just paying for one.
A lot of money. Pardon?
You're just paying for one plant, but you get two. Or you pay for one plant and you get a dozen fruit from it or whichever, right? It's garden math.
And that's also what I'm trying to help people understand. It's you can spend a ton of money, go ahead, but you can also garden cheaply. And there's ways to do it. Like if you've had a raspberry patch, for example, you know that those shoots are going to come up and you can just dig them out and replant them somewhere else, or your raspberry patch will keep growing. So gardening, it can grow. You just have to be patient over time.
Right. Gardening is definitely a good lesson in patience. I think regardless of where you live on the planet, if you're gardening, you need to be patient. So I have a tray of seeds behind me here. I've turned off the plant light, but it's like I planted them yesterday and I caught myself today checking. It's like, why did you do that? Why? Like I planted them yesterday. It takes 7 to 14 days to germinate. It's been 24 hours, Heather. Calm down. but I'm just so excited.
It's so exciting. But it's kind of a metaphor for life too, isn't it? Like we can't just, maybe some things can be overnight, but for the most part, things take time.
Yeah. And we're so used to, especially with the internet, right? I am also a millennial, right? There's this thing
Mhm.
about instant gratification that I want results now. And if I'm working hard, I want to see the results of my labor now, not 20 years from now. And that's probably another reason why I actually got into gardening, even though you do need patience. I love doing a garden renovation where you show up and it's overgrown and the homeowner is overwhelmed. And within 6 hours, it looks completely new and you feel like you've changed somebody's life. Like in
Totally.
six
I
hours.
love the before and after. I think I'm
Yeah.
addicted to that before and after, to be honest.
Yeah. It's something that I definitely love too. So you started again just 2023, so last year. So how
Yeah.
long ago were you in Australia?
I was in Australia, I guess that would have been 2015, 2014, 2015.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what was the journey from that point to starting your business in 2023? What happened in there?
Well, that's a really great question. So I came back from Australia, moved around a bit, random jobs, and then I ended up in Tofino, which is like the far west coast of Canada, as far as you can go west, pretty much.
Yep.
And I got a job as a garden educator, and they paid for me to get my organic master gardener certificate. And then from there, I was just like, oh my gosh, I love showing kids how to grow food. I love
Yeah.
planting gardens. And so, yeah, from there, it's just like I was always continuing to move. And then it's just like always getting myself in the garden, helping other people, helping them with their maintenance. And over time, it has just turned into this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been quite the little growth journey, I guess, because I started doing maintenance for people, that's what they need. And then just hearing about what people say and things that they would point out to me, I'm like, wow, like a lot of people don't even know the basics.
Right.
So that's the gap that I want to fill. And I don't
Yeah.
want to just go over to someone's house and be like, here you go, I made it pretty for you. I want you to get your hands in the soil. And I
Yeah.
want people to be like connecting with the plants because, like, as you know, it's so much fun and
Yeah.
anybody can do it.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
so great too that you're you have that little knack for educating and connecting kids with nature and showing them different things that they can do. It's so cool. I just think it's so cool what you're doing.
Right?
So
And I feel
that's
like it's kind of unfortunately a lot of us have lost this connection. So I really want
yes.
to help foster that. Like, you don't have to go be a farmer and grow all your food, but even
Right.
if you just have a few plants, like you really just you feel more connected to nature and then you're
Yeah.
happier.
And seeing there's something about I mean you can really see it with seeds, but other plants too, but you plant something small and you kind of grow with the garden. Like with time,
Exactly.
a seed, it's just a dormant seed, and you put it in the soil and you give it a little bit of care, and it grows. And
Yeah.
there's something really rewarding about that. Or if you have a garden and you plant a perennial and it's in, a quarter-inch pot or a 4-inch pot, and you're in that space for 20 years, you're growing with that perennial.
You really are.
And
It's fascinating.
yeah, very, very cool, very rewarding.
Yeah.
Um, so I know I have lots more questions that I'm going to ask you. I know it's you guys are behind us in Ontario, but I'm wondering if you've got a beverage with you,
Oh
and
my
if you
gosh.
do, what are you drinking? Even if it's water.
So I had this plan to share my favorite non-alcoholic beverage, but I forgot to get it on the weekend.
Ah,
And I still want to tell you about it. I
yeah,
get it
please
from the
do.
grocery store. Get it from the grocery store. It comes in a 4-pack. It's by Stanley Park Brewing. I don't know if you have that in Ontario, but
Okay,
it's
Stanley Park Brewing.
yeah, Stanley Park is in Vancouver.
Yep.
Stanley Park Brewing, and it's called the Sunsetter Peach Wheat Ale. It's 0.3%. It is so good. Like I used to be a beer drinker and then I switched. And this
Yeah.
like it tastes like real beer without
And
getting me
sir,
drunk.
what's it called again?
It's Stanley Park Brewing and it's called Sunsetter Peach Wheat Ale. And we
Peach
get it from Save On
Wheat.
Foods, but I feel like in Ontario it's probably
Okay.
the equivalent of Loblaws or something.
Something like that. Okay. I'm gonna
It's
look
like
that up.
less than $10 for a 4-pack, and it totally like on a hot day when
Yeah.
I'm feeling like a beer,
Yep.
it totally satisfies my craving.
I love that. I'm excited. I've got a the next podcast interview that I'm recording is with somebody locally in Ontario who runs designated drinks. And
Oh.
so here in Ontario, they're actually not very far from us. They've got all non-alcoholic beers, and they source them from all over the place. And so I
Oh.
actually just bought like an IPA mixer pack to try all these non-alcoholic beers. I'm really excited about it.
Well, you haven't tried yet.
I haven't. Nope.
My partner likes IPA, and he gets into the sober Carpenter, it's called.
Sober Carpet. Okay, there's
Yeah.
another one.
Like
I'm gonna
there's
put that
some
on my
really
radar.
good non-alcoholic beers. And I used to think like, whoa, what's the point? But now I get it.
Right. Yeah. I
I'm
am
like, oh, because you love the
definitely,
taste of those hops.
yeah. And I am on the search for a non-alcoholic one where I sip it. It's like, oh, that tastes like an IPA. And I
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
because the few non-alcoholic ones I taste, I'm like, I might as well have a glass of water.
Exactly.
And I'm not into that.
Yeah.
Um, so the one that I am drinking today, it is an alcoholic one, but this is one of my go-tos. It's called Hazed and Confused,
Oh,
Juicy
nice.
IPA from Muskoka Brewery. Sorry, I was going to say Muskoka Detour, but that's another beer that they make. But they're one of my go-tos, especially for summer. So, yeah, so that's beverages. Uh, so I'm just reading the questionnaire that you filled out, and you said places that you like to visit and outside near the mountains where you live.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, as soon as I read that, I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. You look outside here, and I mean, it's nice because it's all trees. So where I look
That's good.
outside, it's all trees. We, I don't have any mountains here. We've got an escarpment in like Niagara, Hamilton, but
Uh-huh.
no mountains here.
I
So
love the mountains so much. That's why I
yeah,
live where I live.
yeah. I
There's
mean, you
something
must
about
have,
them being in them. It makes me feel held, I guess.
yeah,
Or, like there's always something to look at. They're like your friends out there. Oh,
right?
hey guys.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
up? What's up?
What's
I'm trying
up?
to think of there was a mountain that I climbed up years ago when I was visiting BC, and they have little markers like, oh, you're halfway up. Oh, you're at the three-quarter point. And I forget what the mountain was called, but I was cursing like the whole I got it to like the first quarter mark, and it got really steep really fast. It was like you're climbing a ladder. I'm like, this isn't a hike. I wanted to go for a hike, not like mountain climbing. This is not a trail. I'm climbing a rock face, and I am not a mountain goat, and I am very uncomfortable. But every time we took our picture at the marker signs, I would make sure that I smiled, and
Yep.
then for the camera, and then it would go off, and I'm like, oh, cursing the whole rest of
Back
the
to
way up the mountain.
grunting.
Yeah. So I definitely need to work out more if I decide to attempt to do that again. So,
Yeah, the altitude, right? It can be a thing.
oh my gosh. Uh,
Good for you for trying.
yeah. So talking about this is so great because you're doing vegetables and organic and edibles and things like that. And you're in BC, so you've got a warmer climate than we do in southwestern Ontario. But the question that I get a lot here is vegetables and herbs for shade besides spinach and kale. Is this
Yeah.
something you can talk about?
Yeah, well, so for veggies, you want to do like so kale is obvious and your spinach and your lettuce
Yeah.
and your peas.
Peas.
But
Huh.
yeah, peas loves the shade. I'm just thinking of all the things that I could grow into. The thing is, I grew a lot of things in Tofino that didn't need a lot of sun. So I
Hmm.
always think about that. But yeah, unfortunately, if you have shade and you want to grow veggies, you're going to have to stick to the leafy greens. More
Right.
greens in your life.
Yep. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a good pointer. So if anybody is looking to grow vegetables in their shade garden, leafy greens.
Yep. And
So,
chives, I think, would do great in your shade garden.
yep.
Yep. And I mean, oregano, I don't know if you've seen oregano. That stuff grows like crazy.
Right. And I think
So
somebody else was telling me that ginger.
interesting. Yeah, ginger grows a lot more in Ontario. And then here we have the wild ginger. But I think
Oh,
because of our
okay.
climate, you'd want to grow it in a pot, keep it inside. Like it would just be a labor of love growing ginger in Canada.
Gotcha.
To get the kind of bulbs that we see at the grocery store, right? Otherwise, you
Right.
got to be okay with just the teeny
The
tiny
little
little,
tiny ones. Yeah.
yeah, nutrient packed though.
Nutrient packed. Yes. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorites. Love that stuff. Let's see what else I wanted to ask you. So, tools of the trade. So as like a somebody working with food, is there uh not necessarily hand tools, it could also be software or it could be harvesting stuff or products like fertilizers or like do you have products or tools that are like this is the good stuff?
Yeah, like I find so it's funny because I'm telling you all the things on the West Coast here, and I don't really know if you have them on Ontario, so I'm sorry
Oh,
about
that's
that. But
okay.
so there's this stuff called Gaia Green, Gaia. It's amazing for
Like Gaia,
for your fertilizer, for everything. And
isn't
then I love,
Gaia a religion?
pardon? Well, yeah, Gaia, I know, because
That's so
Gaia means
interesting.
world, it means earth, right?
Okay.
So it's like completely organic fertilizer and it does really great. And they
Gaia
do, so they're
green.
based on the west coast of Canada.
Yep.
And they do a lot of they kelp meal fertilizer, which is nice
Right?
if you're not by the ocean, because it
Yep.
has all these minerals in it, and we want to add those minerals to the garden.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorites. And then like I think as a gardener, like compost, like making my own compost is key. And when you asked about tools, I was like, oh, I don't have a favorite tool. And I was like, oh wait, yes, I do. I call them my clippers, my pruners. I think the proper word is secateurs, because
Yep.
I really do a lot of chop and dropping.
Right.
So I
So
love those.
for and actually maybe let's get you to I'm familiar with what that is, but anybody
Yeah.
tuning in, can you explain what chop and drop is?
Yeah, so chop and drop essentially is exactly what the name entails. You're chopping and you're dropping. So say I have a broccoli plant and the broccoli has all these like massive leaves at the bottom, but I want all the energy to go up to the broccoli head, right? So I'm going to remove those lower leaves. And you can eat those lower leaves, but maybe you don't want to because you have a bunch of other greens going on. So you literally just let it fall onto the soil and it creates like a natural mulch
Right.
because we always want to be mulching and unless you want to be pulling weeds and depleting your soil. We always
Yep.
want to be mulching. So that's why I love my secateurs because I'm chopping dropping all the time. And
I
you
love
can leave
that.
them big, but it's even if you want it to break down quicker, you want to chop them up even smaller. I leave them
Right.
big because I'm a little bit lazy,
Yeah.
but yeah, you can chop them up smaller, get you more chopping in.
It's so funny too,
Yeah.
because even here, so I'm not necessarily an edible or a food grower, gardener, designer, only because my own property is all shade.
Yeah.
And so I don't have a lot of experience doing it, and I don't have the space to kind of experiment myself, but I love shade gardening. And even for
Cool.
ornamentals, I'm really trying to encourage people to chop and drop,
Yeah.
right? Our gardens don't need to be pristine. And
No.
there's so many benefits from pruning and leaving the clippings and letting them break down, not
Yeah.
removing them off site, right?
Yeah.
Because then you're
That's a
not,
big one that frustrates me.
yeah, because we don't need to be bringing in leaf compost or leaf litter from other places because we don't know what's in there. And then we
Yeah.
also don't need to be cleaning up our stuff that's free garden food. Why would you
Yeah.
get rid of that?
Why make more work, right? But I think
Yeah,
unfortunately, a lot of us have got this, like I call it the English style gardening, where people want to see the soil around the plants.
right.
And for some reason, that's in people's minds.
Yeah,
But it's like, no, actually, like go for a walk in nature. Do you see
right.
any soil?
Yeah,
No, that soil needs to be covered. We want to take
yes,
care of the soil food web. We want to be building the soil, and
yeah,
chop and dropping is great. And one less chore as a gardener because we have enough stuff to do.
yes, we do.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
think as soon as you kind of get over it, maybe not looking as pretty, or maybe your neighbors will judge you. Who cares?
yeah,
All your plants will be thriving.
yeah. And well, and I always say too, like if you can see the soil and it's bare soil, that is prime real estate for weed seeds to come in and move in and set root.
Exactly.
So,
And the bare soil also like if you have water, it will infiltrate all the nutrients through and wash them out.
right.
So chop and drop, everybody.
Chop and drop. I love that. We should get shirts made,
I think so too.
Let's
Chop and
start a
drop.
like hashtag chop and drop. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
I
We're gonna
think
make it a
so.
thing. It's
That's
gonna be great.
happening.
So even for people that are in Ontario or in the States or anywhere, this is what I'm really excited to ask you about too, because you've got online food courses, like right
Yeah.
through your website. You've got a whole bunch of different offerings. Can you give us a lowdown of the different things that people can do, even if they're not in British Columbia? Like how, if
Oh,
people want to work with you or learn from you, how
ah,
can they do that?
yeah, absolutely. So where I live, everybody grows food. And so with what my offering is, like, I mean, there's a few people around here, but I'm like, oh, my client base is going to get pretty small pretty quick. Oh, why don't I make an online food growing course that's self-paced? People can learn whenever they want because everybody's busy. They're short tutorials. And so, yeah, you can sign up for an online food growing course. You get the videos sent to you. You get to be in a community of other people that are also learning. And so what I'm doing is having you learn very slowly over, so it's 17 modules. This is my first, let me back up, sorry. This is my first time offering this. So this is how I'm doing it now. This might change. I want all the feedback, but there's 17 modules and each one is only like less than 20 minutes, trying to keep it short and sweet. Nice. And that way it starts you from the very beginning, as if you were a beginner, you have no idea even how to weed. You're like, I don't even know what that is. Right. I'm taking that in consideration and showing you every detail without showing you every detail and being boring.
Right.
Trying to narrow it in.
I have a feeling that any course that you do isn't going to be boring. I just have this feeling. I just have a feeling.
I don't want to put you to sleep. But yeah, so I'm just kind of like, from what I've noticed when I go to people's houses, things they say to me, or even just like how to water properly, people didn't know how to do. So I'm like, okay, I need to show people this. Yeah. So that's the concept. So I have 17 modules, really short. And then I also have, with it, you don't have to do this part. This is extra. It's well-being videos, because this is another part I find with gardening, is it's not just like go put that plant in and walk away. There's a connection that you have with the plants and with nature. And I believe that everybody has this. I didn't realize that I have a little bit more than other people until I started doing this job. Like, oh, I can really hear the plants and other people can't. So I want to help people to develop that hearing and that connection. Yeah. With little well-being videos. And with those, I'm keeping those to 5 to 10 minutes. Yep. Again, nice and short, just, to tap in and to try to connect more to nature. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And it ties right back to what we were saying before about how anytime it's about gardening, it's never just about gardening. Exactly. Right. So I love that. I've just got your website up. And there's this part under, where am I? Just looking about the Grow Food course. And it says guaranteed growth. We're confident that by the end of this course, you'll witness not just the growth of your plants, but your confidence and expertise as a gardener too. So it's not just, here's a lesson, okay, go do it. It's I love that, you are starting from the very beginning, and you do have a little bit of that mindfulness kind of drizzled in, right? And it's so interesting because over here in Ontario, I'm doing something really similar where people approach me, and they approach me as a landscape designer, and they think they need help with gardening. And then we realize along the way that there's other things that's not just gardening and not just plants. And those kind of relationships, and just being able to participate in that level of, I guess, new awareness. Like sometimes you work with a client. It actually, sorry, my ADHD is showing, but I think about those dog trainer shows on TV. I don't know if you've ever watched it, like Dog Whisperer or stuff like that, where the show is about people bringing their problem dog to the trainer because they want to fix the dog. And the trainer's like, the problem isn't with the dog. The problem is with you. I need to train you, not the dog. And sometimes as a garden designer and coach, I find that we're doing the same thing. People are coming to us with garden problems, and we realize that, as people, we want to be seen. We want to feel heard. We want to make a difference in the environment. We want to grow things and contribute somehow, right? And all these things tie back to gardening. It's so true. And it's interesting when you have those clients and you're kind of like, okay, how do I word this in such a way? But you can see what's actually going on. It's like, well, I don't understand what happened. And it's like, well, were you coming out and checking on the garden? No. Okay. Well, were you watering the garden? And it's interesting because a lot of the things that our plants need, it's the same thing as what humans need. Right? I like that meme that it's like, we as humans, we're just really complicated houseplants. Get outside, get some sun, drink some water. You're just a really complicated houseplant. Yeah, I love it. It's the same. We all need the same things. So
Anyway, I just thought that was really cool.
Love it.
And I love to, right on your website, it says discovering the therapy in gardening. You
Yeah.
know, there's so
Because
many healing benefits.
yeah, so many. It's such a ritual for me, and it makes me so happy. And maybe it's not going to work for everybody, but I think that it could work for a lot of people if they added this into their daily or every other day routine.
Right.
Just, going out with your coffee, walking in the garden, checking it out, seeing how much things grew since yesterday. It's pretty fascinating.
Yep, absolutely.
And even
Um,
just to have your hands in the soil, it's so special.
yeah, yeah. And there's science behind it too. And I can never explain it and sound smart enough. Like I shouldn't be explaining it. But the science of soil, like there's actually science that's been done and research that shows all of these microbes and things that are in the soil actually do affect our psyche and do make
Cool.
us feel more optimistic and do make us feel more hopeful and feel good, right?
Yeah. Like I can kind of
So,
be in a crappy mood and then I go out and spend a few minutes in the garden and I'm like, what was I even upset about? I don't
right.
even remember.
Yeah. Oh, it's all better now. Weird. Speaking about that, so on your thing, you talked about anxiety and SAD. And so for people who don't know SAD as in SAD, seasonal affective disorder,
Hmm.
somebody over here, that's me, London, Ontario, up until very
Oh yeah.
recently, we have been trapped in our houses because we had a false spring in February where it was almost 20 degrees Celsius and it was beautiful. And then we had snow and like just big storms again in April. And we're just itching to go out there. And I mean, as a garden designer and coach, everybody forgets that they have landscape, I find, in Ontario until about April 1st.
Yeah,
And
I
they're like,
know.
oh,
What the
yeah,
heck?
I need to call a gardener.
Everyone calls
No,
you at once.
you should have called me in November
I know.
because I had all this free time from November to March. So if anybody is tuning in right now and they're thinking, oh,
Please
I should
think
contact
ahead.
Heather or Lynzee about my garden, you know what? The best time to contact us is now. The second best time to contact us is not during the peak season when we're already booked for the season. Give us a call anytime. Your garden will still be there in April. But if you want to call us in
Exactly.
February, please do. We'll
Yeah,
be a lot less
please.
stressed out. Just give us a call, please.
Yeah.
Waiting by the
And to be
phone.
able to say yes. It's funny because I had somebody last year call me and it's like, do you have any space? And it's like mid-May. And I'm like,
Uh,
give her the date in 3 weeks or whatever it was. She's like, oh, no space tomorrow. I'm like,
oh no. No.
wanted me to plant her veggie garden the next day. I'm like, oh, you should have thought about this before.
Yeah. Yeah. Best day to plan is when you can't garden.
Yes.
That's the thing, right? The simplified answer is the time to plan is not when you can garden, because as soon as you can garden, people like you and me, we're gardening,
Yeah.
right? So I'm actually wearing my sweatshirt right now because that's what I did before this episode, and
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna say I was
exactly
out
what
there
I'm
this
doing
morning.
afterwards. So now is not the time to call us. Um, that's so funny. But so talking about well-being, anxiety, seasonal affective disorder, how has gardening, I mean, I think it's kind of self-explanatory, but it's something I still really struggle with. Do you have any pointers for people who might deal with these things as well?
Yeah, I actually used to get that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't anymore. And I think, well, taking vitamin D is really important, eating
Yep.
the nutritious food, getting your sleep. But when it comes to with gardening, I find starting in January, February, you can be growing some stuff inside if you have some grow lights. You can
Yep.
be getting excited, watching the things grow and feeling that connection to the plant, which makes your heart happy and excited. And to know that, oh, yay, it's just around the corner.
Yep. Just hold on.
Yeah,
It's almost here.
just hold on, it's almost here.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you want to get some grow lights for your own self.
Right. Yeah. Right. We're just complicated houseplants.
Yeah, we're just
So,
complete. Yeah, maybe you want to sit under the grow light with your plants. I don't know.
you know, I don't know if that's health approved. Don't
Yeah, I
quote
don't know if
us
it's
on
health
that. We're
approved.
not
Maybe look into
suggesting
that
that, but
first.
and there is light therapy, right? It is a thing.
It
So,
really is.
I'm really good at starting seeds too early, watching
Mm.
them all grow and then watching them all die. But somehow it still brings me joy in February or March because it just means that I've got more empty space to grow more seeds.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's just about just grow it, just try it.
Just try it.
right?
And that's a really good point there is as a gardener, practice non-attachment,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, like there's so many good lessons. And yeah, non-attachment's one of them. Because sometimes
Yeah.
you grow something and it dies and you just give it, okay, try again.
That's life, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes. So that's a difficult one with houseplants because there are some expensive houseplants out there. And I've never, shouldn't say never. Hold on, I shouldn't say never. I think the most expensive, like most I've ever spent on a houseplant was maybe $80.
Wow.
And that's still a lot for a houseplant. But I mean, there are daylilies out there that
Oh my
are
gosh.
12 and $1,500 for a bulb,
My dad is
right?
an obsessive daylily farmer.
Is he?
So
Oh my
funny you
gosh.
said that.
So does he know Paul Galatny?
Probably.
He on Instagram, he is the tattooed gardener.
Okay.
Definitely just check him out. He's a daylily hybridizer here in Ontario. And he just recently had one named after Betty White.
That's
So
funny.
he
My
got
dad
permission
has a
from the
daylily
family
named
and
after him.
no way.
The Gary Busek daylily. Yeah. Because he hybridizes them as
Hmm.
well. Just named it after himself.
That'd be really funny. They probably do know each other. I'm gonna send Paul a
I'm sure
message
they
after
do.
this. That's so
Uh,
funny.
I wanted to say one more thing about so the well-being thing in the
Yep.
winter time. One thing that I thought of that is really good if you are feeling seasonal depression, just get outside.
Right.
Just do it. If it's like snowy and crappy out, whatever, just tell yourself go for a 10-minute walk. Go
Yeah.
connect with the trees, the plant, whatever plants that are there without their leaves. Just get some fresh air and connect to those plants outside.
It's so fun. I'm so good at giving people that advice. And then when it comes to myself, I'm like, but it's wet.
I
Like it's
know, right?
cold and wet.
Yeah.
And I have to
Just
look at
make
myself
yourself
in the
do it.
mirror. It's like, just do it. Just do
Just
it.
do it. Just 10 minutes, even 5 minutes.
Yep.
Tell yourself 5 minutes because then it will turn into 10.
Right. And then it's okay. That's like that. I don't know if it's a video or another meme where something where this woman's like, I don't understand. I don't feel good. I'm upset. I'm depressed. And her friend's like, well, are you sleeping well? No. Are you eating well? No. Are you going for regular walks outside? No. Oh, hmm.
Hmm.
There's a connection there.
Yeah,
So,
imagine that.
it's so much easier to tell people the advice than to do it ourselves sometimes,
It's
right?
so true.
So we've got about 6 minutes left here, but I'm wondering, when it comes to maybe not just landscaping, but landscaping, well-being, life in general, is there a book or two or five, uh, that you think are really good, either resources or books that you recall reading that you were like, this was a game changer? This,
Yeah. I have such a love of books and I read so many books all the time.
and then it's
And I
always
can't
hard to pick
remember.
just one
Yeah. I'm like,
when you're,
which one? Like,
yeah,
so I can't really narrow it down to just one right now. I'm sorry.
okay.
I think I answered on the questionnaire because I thought about it real hard.
Yeah, you said, yes, I have a book I can recommend, but didn't list which book. So I can't even help you.
Oh, okay. Well, I did not prepare myself
We'll just have
because
to use our imagination. Too
I have
funny.
so many books I could recommend. Like I can pull one right up. Like here, we got a field guide to mushrooms here.
Field Guide to Mushrooms. Excellent. That is a scary topic for me. I'm like, no way. There's some
You're not
mushrooms I
into
can
foraging.
definitely identify, but I'm scared I'm going to forage the wrong thing.
Yeah, I
And
stick to the two that I know.
yeah, that's like, nope, that's it. So I think the one that's here, it smells really bad. And I think it's called devil's horn
Oh,
mushroom. It's
and people eat that one?
it's edible, yeah. And it's
And it smells
very
bad.
phallic looking. I don't know how else to say that. But it's like it's just a nasty mushroom. And I think it's called devil's horn.
I'll have to look it up in this book.
It's gross. It is so gross. And yeah, it's apparently people eat it and I just no. But I first encountered that working at the Royal Botanical Gardens. And I remember working in the children's playground and I was down on my hands and knees pruning or getting rid of suckers on a tree or something. And I could smell it first. And I was like, what the heck? I've never smelled anything worse in my life before or since. And so now when I'm in a garden, if I'm just walking through the garden, I can identify it right away from the smell.
Oh yeah. You
There
probably
is
thought the kids
nothing
had
like
done
it.
something.
And not like worse than that kind of smell.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when you smell it, you can't unsmell it.
Mm.
It like
No, I'll
stays
just
with
stick to the
you.
chanterelles.
Yes, there you go. Excellent.
Yeah.
Um, what else would I like to talk about? I mean, what else would you like to talk about? There's so many, oh my gosh, there's so many other things here too, and I don't want to run out of time, but we likely will. Because you mentioned too about where our food comes from, supporting pollinators. I mean, food does
Oh
that
my
too.
gosh, supporting pollinators is
It's
huge.
not just flowers, people.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and native plants is a huge one because a lot of people, you want to get perennials because you don't have to take care of them very much and they come back year after year.
yep,
But get some native plants for your perennial garden.
yep,
And that's like this huge concept, which I've noticed that a lot of people are like, oh yeah. Like when you go walking out in the woods, or for me out in the mountains, or wherever you go walking, like just look at the plants that are around there and see if you can bring any of those to your home. Maybe not from
yep,
that forest, but bring those to your home garden and put them.
right.
Yeah.
It's something I love doing too, because I'm not always good at identifying exactly what it is. I can get it pretty close. But what I like doing is going for hikes on level ground, not on mountains. Um, but I'll take my phone and I will take pictures of things that are in bloom or have interesting foliage. And then I'll come
Cool.
home and I'll do research. And I'll be like, does that go well here? Can I put that in my
Yeah.
garden? Can I buy it somewhere? Or where can I source this?
Yeah.
Right? And
And
then
if you
you're
think about it,
learning.
yeah. And if you think about it, the pollinators have evolved with those plants. So they will like
Absolutely.
them a lot more and they're going to come into your garden. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be hand pollinating my squash. I want the pollinators to do that.
Yeah, I'm not for hand pollinating. That's a
No,
no. Too much work.
that's way too much.
Yeah. I'm one of those lazy gardeners. I
Yeah.
want to do it properly and correctly and most efficiently the first time so
Yep.
that later I do less work and I can
Yeah.
just enjoy it.
Do you
So,
do lasagna bed gardening?
I've never tried doing it myself, but I've
Okay.
got a number of clients who do it. And in Toronto, there's a company called Buffco, good friends of mine, Mark and Marlene, or Arlene, sorry. And they install raised garden beds all the time, and they'll do the lasagna thing to install a brand new
Yeah.
garden bed for people. It's awesome.
Because I love that one for like less work.
Yeah, you don't have
Yeah.
to dig things up. You don't have to
Yeah.
excavate. You don't have to cultivate the ground or anything. It's just lasagna. So
Yeah.
your cardboard and your compost and your soil and your greens and your browns and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So, so there's a term that people can look up if you want to know more. But we're going to get cut off. We're about less than a minute left. So, Lynzee, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, telling me about some of your favorite non-alcoholic beers, and telling me and us about your business. And I hope to see you
Yeah.
again.
Thank you so much for having me, Heather.
Okay. Thanks, Lynzee. All the
Have
best.
a great evening.
Cheers.
Okay, bye.
That concludes this week's episode, hosted by me, Heather Gerard, at My Landscape Artist. Now, before you go, here's some info about our sponsor, ext.tech. In today's fast-paced world, your landscaping business needs modern solutions to keep up with the change. That's where EXT comes in. EXT is revolutionizing the way you manage projects and streamlines your landscaping, snow removal, and construction operations. Instead of juggling 5 different software packages, endless spreadsheets, losing track of leads, and missing out on potential sales, you could be leveraging AI job routing, client management, and financial insights with a modern mobile app that employees love to use. With EXT's flat rate pricing, you'll never be caught off guard. If you're ready to revolutionize and grow your landscaping business, visit ext.tech today to learn more. And for additional savings, use the code HOPS10 at checkout, or just tell them that Heather sent you. See you next week for another episode of Hops and Hedges.